I took all the sketches back to the studio and then worked up new paintings, and those paintings in turn inspired other paintings, and then the ideas from one picture would transpose into another. And I found that I was creating works that were about the kind of overall experience that I had and the interweaving of the stories that I'd been collecting. And this painting, the painting of this sort of bee-eater bird, which I'd encountered in the desert in Jordan, and that had been rescued by these Bedouin kids, and in this really kind of heartwarming little play that we saw produced in front of us. That image really stayed with me. It somehow encapsulated these migrating birds and the suffering and the challenges of the people who were trying to follow these same migratory routes. And I've conjured together the themes of crossing the desert with crossing oceans. And the figure of the bird has been reconstructed from natural and man-made elements so that it has become this vessel. And of course the vessel contains whatever you want it to contain. It contains hope, and it contains people's lives. It is built of woven grass and broken up bits of boats and paper and just things that I found in the camps. And it is about, I guess, the hopes and the dreams of the people who are travelling, and what they've suffered in their journeys, what they've left behind, and in the obstacles that they've overcome to try and build new lives. If you look closely at the imagery, you can see that there are little figures on the back of the bird. There are abandoned boats tied onto it. There are waymarking flags, and they're kind of planted into the back of the bird. And quite often I would hear details about people's journeys, and something would strike me as really unusual or really visually poignant, and the waymarkers in the desert really resonated with me. So I'm hoping to create something that is intriguing and in its own way beautiful, as birds are beautiful. And this portrayal of a bird is meant to be beautiful. But if you come in closer, if you look in a more detailed way at what's going on, it becomes a bit dystopian, a bit apocalyptic almost, because I'm referring to themes which are real challenges, themes about climate change and the refugee crisis, which are really going to define who we are and how we live our lives in the next couple of generations. I was talking earlier about this taking me outside my comfort zone, and that there were many times I was talking to people or in particular places and felt really uncomfortable. But the survival stories that I heard from people were shocking and very upsetting. So I heard from kids as young as 13 how they had crossed the deserts and how they got lost, and how they found a car full of people who had been lost weeks before and simply died in the desert. These refugees, these migrants, have often been in situations where there wasn't a safety net, where there wasn't support, where they were beyond the reach of help or law or even any kind of government. And they had to cross uncharted territories, places where their lives really were at risk. And some of the stories I heard, they had only just survived. People's ability to overcome those challenges, as that speaking to people who have overcome stuff that I would just find crushing, has been really inspirational. I mean, incredibly inspirational. The sad truth of it is that there are a lot of people equally who have been lost.